Welcome to the session 56, that is trading blocks. In this trading blocks, we discuss about SARC, ASEAN and G8 countries and their objectives and achievements. The learning objective of this study is to studying the SARC and ASEAN and G8 countries and their role and objectives and achievements, etc. After studying this session, the students will be able to understand the various achievements, roles, and objectives of various trading blocks is possible. First, we discuss about SARC. SARC means South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation. Is an organization of South Asian nations which was established on 8th December 1985 when the government of Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, Maldives, Nepal, Pakistan and Sri Lanka formally adopted its charter providing for promotion of economic and social progress, cultural development within the South Asia region, and also for friendship and cooperation with other developing countries. It is dedicated to economic, technological, social, and cultural developments, emphasizing collective self reliance. Its seven founding members are Sri Lanka, Bhutan, India, Maldives, Nepal, Pakistan, and Bangladesh. Afghanistan joined the organization in 2007. Meetings of heads of state are usually scheduled annually. Meetings of foreign secretaries twice annually. It is headquartered in Kathmandu at Nepal. It is the statistics which I was described about SARC. That is, it is established in 1985 December 8 at Dhaka, Bangladesh, with the official website is http dot colon www dot sarcsec.org. It is a website. Number of member countries in SARC at present is 8 countries including India, Bangladesh, Nepal, Sri Lanka, Maldives, Bhutan, Afghanistan and Pakistan. The number of observers in SARC includes 9 observers, that is Australia, European Union, Iran, Japan, Mauritius, South Korea, United States of America, China, and Myanmar. SARC headquarters are in Kathmandu at Nepal. Launch of SARC satellite for South Asia at 2017. And the SARC specialized bodies include South Asian University at India, South Asian Regional Standards Organization SARSO at Dhaka, SARC Development Fund SDF Bhutan, SARC Arbitration Council SARCO Pakistan. The first Secretary General of SARC is Ab- Abul Ashan in from the Bangladesh. Current Secretary of General of SARC is Esala Ruwan Virakul, Sri Lanka, took office from 1st March 2020. It is the current Secretary of General SARC. Last member to join SARC is Afghanistan on April 2007. The last SARC summit held on 19th SARC summit in Pakistan, which was cancelled due to some reasons. The objectives of SARC. The objectives and aims of the SARC association as defined in the charter are include to promote the welfare of the people of South Asia and to improve their quality of life, to accelerate economic growth, social progress, and cultural development in the region, and to provide all individuals opportunity to live in dignity and to realize their full potential. Next is to promote and strengthen selective self-reliance among the countries of South Asia, and then to contribute to mutual trust, understanding, and appreciation of one another problems. Next is to promote active collaboration and mutual assistance in the economic, social, cultural, technical, and scientific fields, to strengthen cooperation with other developing countries, to strengthen cooperation among themselves in the international forums on matters of common interest, and last is to cooperate with international and regional organizations with similar aims and purposes, and to maintain peace in the region. These are all the various objectives of SARC. Then we see the areas of cooperation among SARC nation includes is one is agriculture and rural development, human resources development and tourism development, economic trade and finance, social affairs, environment, natural disasters and biotechnology, in education, security and culture and others, information and poverty alleviation, energy, transport, and science and technology are the various cooperation areas among the SARC nations. Each and every country of SARC nations will having cooperation among these all the areas, including agriculture to transport and science and technology. The various regional integrated programs of action covers the following aspects, same as agriculture and rural development. In this regional integrated program, first one is agriculture and rural development, and then women, youth and children's welfare, health and population activities, science and technology and metrology, environment and forestry, human resource development and transport. These are all the regional integrated programs of action covers by the SARC with various aspects. Next is SARC principles. Here, SARC principles include cooperation within the framework of the SARC shall be based on the following principles: respect for the principles of sovereign equality, territorial integrity, political independence, and non interference in the internal affairs of other states, and mutual benefit. Such cooperation shall not be a substitute for bilateral and multilateral cooperation, but shall complement to them. Such cooperation shall not be inconsistent with bilateral and multilateral obligations. These are all the SARC principles which are included in SARC summit. Next, we discuss about SARC structure. SARC has the following structure. It includes mainly two. One is SARC Council. It is the apex policy making body. The council is represented by government heads of the respective member countries. Next is Council of Ministers. The Council of Ministers comprises the foreign ministers and they meet generally two times annually. Here the councils of ministers function include policy formulation. Second function include reviewing the meeting progress and reviewing the progress of regional cooperation. Then identifying newer areas of cooperation and setting up additional mechanisms as required. These are all the functions of council ministers who are all included in the SARC committee. Next, in this SARC structure, another one committee is standing committee. It This standing committee comprises the foreign secretariat of the member countries. The major functions of the standing committee are stated below. First one function is to monitor and coordinate the programs. Next, to deal with modalities of financing and to mobilize cooperation within and outside the region. These are all the functions of standing committee. Next committee is programming committee. It comprises of senior officials of the member governments, and the major functions of this committee are including finalizing the annual meet schedule, budget scrutinization, and external activities assigned by the standing committee. Next is Next committee is technical committee. This technical committee consists of representatives of the member nations. The major functions of the committee are as follows: to formulate projects and monitor the same, to submit the reports of the projects about which they are handled. Next is Secretariat. It is headed by the Secretary General appointed by the Council of Ministers. The main functions of the Secretariat are as follows: coordination and execution of activities conducted by SARC, monitoring the SARC meetings, and work as a communication link between SARC and other international summits and forums. Next is Association of Southeast Asian Nations, that is called ASEAN. ASEAN, Association of Southeast Asian Nations. This Association of Southeast Asian Nation is an association of nations de- dedicated to economic and political cooperation in Southeast Asia countries. This ASEAN was established on 8th August 1967 in Bangkok, Thailand, with the signing of the ASEAN Declaration or Bangkok Declaration by the founding member of ASEAN, Indonesia, Philippines, Malaysia, Singapore, and Thailand. Brunei Darussalam then joined on 7th January 1984. Vietnam was joined on 28th July 1995, and Law PDR and Myanmar are joined on 23 July 1997, and Colombia, Cambodia on 30th April 1999, making up what is today the 10 member states of ASEAN. The ASEAN region has a population of about 500 million, a total area of 4.5 million square kilometers, a combined gross domestic product of almost 700 billion US dollars, and a total trade about 850 million US dollars. Objectives of ASEAN. ASEAN objectives include: first one, accelerating economic growth, cultural development, and social progress in the region by joint initiatives in the spirit of partnership and equality to cement and foundation for a peaceful and strong community of Southeast Asian countries, promoting peace and stability in the region by incorporating respect for justice and the rule of law in the relationships between nations, and adherence to the United Nations principles, promoting active collaboration and mutual assistance in subject of common interest in social, economic, cultural, administrative, scientific, and technical domains. Then other objective includes assisting members countries via training and research facilities in the educational, administrative, technical, and professional domains, cooperating for better usage of agriculture and industries, trade expansion, including studying the problem of international commodity trade, and improving communication and transportation facilities and to improving living standards among the people. Promoting Southeast Asian studies. Last objective include exploring more avenues for further cooperation among themselves and maintaining close and advantageous cooperation with other international groupings of similar objectives. Next is Asian fundamental principles. The Asian fundamental principles includes mutual respect for independence, sovereignty, equality, territorial integrity, and national identity of all nations. Next principle is the right of every state to lead its national existence free from external interference, subversion, or coercion. Next principle is non interference in the internal affairs of the one another. Settlement of differences or disputes by peaceful manner. Remuneration of the threat or use of force and effective cooperation among themselves. Next, these are all the various Asian fundamental principles. These are all the meaning of Asian objectives and fundamental principles of Asian. Next, we move to the G8 countries. The G8 is a group of eight highly industrialized countries. These eight are the United States, United Kingdom, France, Italy, Germany, Russia, Japan, and Canada. These are all the eight United States countries that holds an annual meeting to foster consensus on global issues like economic growth and crisis management, global security, and energy and terrorism. These are all the highlighted areas in global issues. The group of eight is an assembly of highly developed and modernized nations that have established a position as leaders and pacifistors for the industrialized world. The leading countries meet periodically to address international economic and monetary issues. The origins of the group date back to 1975 when it was then known as the G6 with a membership consisting of the UK and the US, France, West Germany, Italy and Japan. This the G6 countries with membership consisting of UK, United Kingdom, United States, France, West Germany, and Italy and Japan. These are all the six countries included in G6 countries. The nations that currently make up the G8 are the United States, United Kingdom, Canada, Germany, Japan, Italy, and France. The G8 is considered global policy making at its highest level. It includes the group of seven countries along with Russia. Russia, although not a full member, had been in attendance since 1994. However, Russia was suspended from the group in 2014 due to the annexation of Crimea in 2017. Russia announced its intention to permanently withdraw from the G8 group. The group has sometimes been referred to as the G7 recently due to Russia technically being in non-member status. So because of cancellation of Russian membership, it is considered as G7. But the G8 nations see themselves as an elite and executive group, and indeed they do significant power as their combined wealth and resources comprise roughly half of the entire global economy. The G8 is not an official formal entity like the United Nations and has no legislative or authoritative power. The G8 group can, however, compile recommended policies and plans that its members can work collaboratively to implement. These are all the information about G8 countries. So, in this session, we clearly learnt about various trading blocks, including SARC, ASEAN, and G8 countries and their objectives, achievements, and roles and structures.